What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is Sunday. It's time to get ramped up for the week. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it's just what it is. If you guys just jumping on and say what's up, let us know you're here. Caesar, I'm not going to forget this time. I promise. I have told myself, I was pumping myself up right before we got on here. I was like, you better not forget. You listen here. You better not forget the clarity statement. I don't care.
All right. So right here it says.
So wait. I'm not done. Excuse me. So, Caesar, will you read the clarity statement?
Right here it says that today is Justin's birthday.
Oh, man, the cat's out of the bag.
Yes. And we were blessed today to be able to spend some time with Justin and his family and some friends and celebrate all the awesomeness that is Justin. So happy birthday, buddy, before I read the clarity statement.
Thank you. And all the lies you tell online. It's cool.
You better stop it. So now I'm going to read the Hope Shot clarity statement.
Thank you, Caesar. I appreciate you.
We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery, spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Thanks, Caesar. Appreciate you. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up, let us know you're here, and then please share this. Don't put see you, Caesar. I guess you didn't want to. Let's see. We got Allie. What's up, Allie? Good to see you. We got Lynn. Thank you so much, Lynn, and we appreciate you. We got Jerry. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you, Allie, for the birthday. And Jerry, thanks for sharing. And we have Shannon. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. And Jerry, appreciate you. You know what? Man, today has been a great day. I am telling you, I think I'm like hungover from, I don't even know what's hungover. I think it's, overdone from all the food and these delicious cupcakes from Sugar Darlings where we live. It was... They were so good. I probably had a little too many, like everything I do in my life. But and that's why I'm here. So thank you for letting me be here. And but it was really good. The ziti, the cupcakes, they were just delicious. And pool day and people.
The ziti, bro.
And the ziti, yeah. No. The ziti's bomb. I can make some good ziti. I have world famous ziti, not world famous, just in my world.
Okay, it's pretty world famous. That stuff's legit.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about your ziti is it ruins every other big ziti I ever have.
Yeah. I can't have anybody else's now. There's only
this is nothing like Justin's.
I'm not allowed at the bake sale now.
Shut it down. Everybody else be out of business.
Listen, I was thinking about selling plates here in the future. You know what I mean? Like, just in case I have something to fall back on. You know what I mean? So let's get right into the topic. You know, we lately there's been a lot of people struggling with, not struggling even. I guess it is struggling with the blessings, right? How do we struggle with blessings? Well, it's really easy when we take our sight off. You know, what got us here in the first place? You know, I've talked about it multiple times. I've done it. You know, I've done it, man, where like my life gets back in order. Everything is starting to make sense. I'm getting all these awesome things happening. And all I'm focused on is those awesome things and how I can get more. Oh, well, I got to work. You know, I got to make money. I got bills to pay. Everybody got bills to pay, bro. But I lose sight of what got me here in the first place. And then those things that I have acquired because of recovery, not anything else, you know, because this recovery deal has put me on this path. You know, I lose sight of my recovery. And then what gets put on the back burner? My recovery. The things that got me these things. And now I'm starting to look at these blessings like they're a problem. And now all these things become burdens. And then everybody in my life is a burden. And then it just keeps going and going and going. And I'm miserable. And that's just not a good place to be. So I need somebody else to start this for me so I can do some things. So let's go.
I'll jump on it, man, because it's an important topic. So I share about this stuff all the time, man. I walked into this deal with nothing. I mean, nothing. You know, I was blessed to be in a long-term rehab. I didn't have anything else to focus on. You know, that first 6 months, I didn't have to worry about paying bills. I didn't have to worry about really much of anything. You know, it's a DOC rehab facility. All I had to do is make my bed, you know, show up to group, and we're good. But I could focus on my recovery. I didn't have to worry about the kids or the job or any of that stuff. And I was able to get like a really good foundation in there, really focus on my recovery and come out of there strong. But you get out and life hits you, and then there's bills, and there's just all the things that we have to deal with, taking care of the kids and just life in general. And I prayed, man, you know, I couldn't find a job. Please let me get a job, you know, and please let me get my license back and this and that. And it ties back to gratitude. The stuff that I prayed about, say 5 years ago, I'm probably complaining about now. It's, I used to go back into that rehab, and I'd try to talk about this stuff, and I'd ask the people, I'd be like, hey man, you remember what the day you came in here? You remember like how awesome it was to put your, you know, the sheriff's department dropped you off and you put on your own clothes, and everyone's like, yeah, man, that was awesome. And I was like, then you got the food, and it wasn't a hot tray. It was decent food. And they're like, yeah, man, the food was good. I was like, how you feel about the food now? They're like, oh man, food's bullshit now. I'm like, yes, same food that you were grateful for 2 weeks ago. You know, how do you feel about the facility when you got here? Oh man, we got freedom. I can walk around. We're not locked up. I'm like, how you feel about it now? Oh man, it's bullshit here. It's too many rules. And it's just our perspective changes on things. We get ungrateful quickly. And as far as the blessings go, the more stuff that comes into my life because I'm doing the next right thing, and because I'm living by spiritual principles, and because I have focused on my recovery, those are the more things that I got to watch out for that will take my eye off of what got me there. And that's straight up the basics. Got to hit a meeting. Got to be working with somebody. I've got to be giving my time. I've got to be doing my spiritual practices every single day. But suddenly we wake up and we've got the house, the car, all the things and the stuff. And we're like, oh man, well, I gotta keep my stuff. I gotta get to work early, man. I gotta make extra money. I gotta stay late. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. We gotta do everything. And all the everythings we gotta do start piling up in front of our recovery, in front of making it to a meeting, in front of taking an hour in the morning to do my spiritual stuff. And I got to remember, and I remind myself on a daily basis, without my recovery, I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. I don't have to worry about a house, a family, a car, a job, because without recovery, I don't have that. I've got decades of evidence that says I will burn down everything if I don't keep living by the principles and the program that have gotten me this far. I also have decades of evidence that say, I don't have this life. This is not something that has ever happened before in my lifetime, except when I stuck to the program and did what I'm supposed to do and continue living by it. But I see people on a daily basis that the job becomes more important. Even simple things, the family becomes more important. I have to remember, I wasn't there for my family before. You know, I wasn't like a great family man when I was out there using. That only happened because I got sober. I got into recovery and I started doing this deal. So even family, like I can't use anything as an excuse to not do this deal on a daily basis. Nothing can come before it, because whatever I do, whatever I put in front of it, that's something I'm going to lose. And that can go right down to my relationships. I wasn't always a good friend, a good husband, father, any of those things. I am because of the stuff that I've learned and the mentors that have taught me how to be a freaking human being in this deal. So it doesn't matter what example I use. It's just, this thing's got to be like the center of my life, where in the past I get out of rehab and I hit a couple of meetings. Like recovery was something I added on the outside of my life, like as an optional deal. Like, hey, I got recovery over here if I ever need it, but I got all this going on over here. Today, my recovery in God is literally like our solar system. My recovery is the sun, you know, and everything else revolves around that. God and recovery in the middle, all the other stuff's revolving around that. And if I keep it that way, and I keep it the most important thing, then my life can continue growing and getting better. Like I went to Justin's house today, and you know, Nate, all of us, like I see the physical blessings that have happened with all of us. And that stuff's amazing. It's amazing to see somebody get their license back. It's amazing to see somebody get a nice car. It's amazing to see somebody buy a home for their family. But what's even more amazing is to see somebody continue to grow and see them still have empathy for the next person next to them, and to have that fire for helping somebody. Because my primary purpose to be on this earth has nothing to do with money. You know, I know hundreds of people that were just like me that aren't here anymore. I got this chance, and because I have this chance, I have a debt of gratitude to help people. And that's all there is to it. And that debt will be until the day that I die. So if I'm breathing, I'm going to be preaching recovery until the day that I die. I want to be that old dude with the fedora hat that really doesn't make a lot of sense, and he's all quirky in the meetings and he keeps just saying weird stuff. Like, I want to be that guy. I want to still be doing the deal when I'm 85 years old, because that's what I'm supposed to do. People go their entire lives not knowing what their purpose is. I'm in a position where I know what my purpose is. I know why I'm here. And that's one of the biggest blessings I have. And I hold on to that over material blessings. So did I give you enough time there, Justin?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you did great. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
You're wonderful, Caesar. You're, whatever, bro. You guys can't do it. Wait. Oh, there it goes. I'm out. Wait. I'm in. Ready for my close up.
Hey, here we go. Caesar's going to be an old timer smoking a cigar, telling people, keep coming back in my Hawaiian shirt. You know, that's right. Hawaiian shirt and fedora, though. You can't forget the fedora. It's part of the whole deal.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. We got Aaron. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. He says, miserable. Last week I found out guys can have mental breakdowns too. You're damn right. We human. If you're human, you have a breakdown.
I have about one a week.
Yeah. I have one. I'm getting better. I have one a day now. I used to have one every second of the day. I cry about everything. But let's see. We have Jen watching. We're watching for rehab. Hell yes.
Heck yes.
Good to see you, Jen. Awesome. We got Robin. Step 12. I can only keep what I have. I can keep what I got. I have to give it away. My experience, strength, and hopes. To do God's will, not mine. To love and serve.
Amen.
That's right. We got Lindsay says, they definitely turned to burdens due to my lack of gratitude. My first time in recovery, I started to think I was pretty self-sufficient at 5 years, forgetting God provided the promises.
Oof, yes, that's it. That's a hard lesson to learn too.
Yeah. And then Aaron says, yeah, I stretched myself too thin trying to help, trying to run multiple businesses, then bam, disassociation and mental breakdowns turned into 3 days under watch and hospital. Oof, man, I'm glad you're okay. That's what, man, we love to stretch ourselves too thin, especially men, we let women too do, but from my experience, I'm only a guy. So, I think as human beings, there we go. Let me reword that. As human beings, we can stretch ourselves too thin, way too thin. And we can forget, man, you know, like we're only a one person. I do it all the time because I don't really know how to delegate that well. I'll just do it myself. Just do it myself.
That's what I'm saying. I got this. Don't worry. I don't need help.
Man, that is a bad place to be, man.
And it's hard to say no. You help one guy, and then the next guy needs help, and the next guy, and you don't know. As a matter of fact, that's what Kelly was saying earlier with boundaries.
I was waiting for
it. You're going to spin it right back around to boundaries, too.
I was waiting for that.
And I'll drop this nugget that her sponsor.
Is it a golden nugget?
Don't go there. But her sponsors taught her, and she taught me, you know, the lesson of you can't pour from an empty cup. I'm no good to anybody unless I'm taking care of me. And that may sound selfish, but if you work in this field and you do this deal, it is imperative to fill yourself up spiritually. It's imperative to take time to rest. And it's imperative to have boundaries and know when you have to say no. I can't sponsor every person in West Pasco County. Not only would that be ego driven, but I would do them no good and I'd run myself into the ground. I can't help everybody, but I can point them in the right direction of where they can get help. Sometimes I have to be a resource broker and not a superhero with a cape, you know, and that's the stuff that I've learned moving through this over the years. It's nice to be able to try to help everybody, but it's not realistic because you'll burn the candle at both ends and then there'll be nothing left of you to help anybody with.
Yeah. Yeah. There was something earlier on it was a spiritual principle today that even said that. It said, we're like anything that feels good, we can take selflessness to unhealthy extremes. We do love too much of a good thing after all. And bonus, we can avoid examining ourselves by becoming immersed in helping others. And it was so good. It was so good today. You know, I love the spiritual principle. It's like everything in our lives we can take to an unhealthy extreme, everything. And it's just like, the balancing act, boundaries, you know, just like Caesar's saying, the boundaries, you know, we have to have boundaries with ourselves.
Dude, we had a conversation a few weeks ago in the Sunday morning meeting. Roy was there, and we were talking about the very same thing you just said. Like, when you're just burying yourself in service, it goes from like this altruistic, good intention thing to an ego-driven thing, and it shifts. And like we had this deep conversation. We were talking about basically service without God is just ego. You know, if I'm doing something for attention, not because it's just the right thing to do, that's my ego and that's self manifesting. Because if I truly just want to help somebody, nobody else needs to know about it at all. They don't need to know that I was there helping, however I helped. So usually if you're so buried, or if a person is so buried trying to help everybody service all the time, that's more of a show than it is an act of just wanting to be of service. So we always got to keep our intentions in check.
Motives.
That's the word I was looking for.
I know. I hear you.
Thank you for reading my mind.
I'm in your mind. I'm in there. I jumped in. No, but and also because, you know, it's easier to, like, I think I just seen a comment about it somewhere. It's easier to be able to look at everybody else, just like when I used to blame others, you know, and I used to look at everybody else. Well, he's horrible, man. And like, I never looked at him. I was just as bad. There you go. It's a lot easier to care for others and ignore the stuff going on in us, especially when we have stuff we don't want to face internally, and self-care is crucial. And that is like spot on, man. Why I look at all these good things I'm doing. Nobody sees it and stuff like that. Like, and you can get lost and caught up quick, and you could trip real fast. And that's a slippery slope right there. You know, when you're not caring for yourself and you're just helping everybody else. Oh, look at me. I'm helping all these people, you know, with your cape on and flying around and, you know, bouncing tall buildings with a single bounce. You know, it's not good. You know, we gotta bring it down a notch and make sure our motives are in check, because ego can get way out of bounds. Nathan, what you got, man? What you got going on, man?
Oh, yeah. So, oh, Caesar kind of stole all my lines, bro.
Wait.
I think you dig deep
This
now.
is breaking news.
Yes.
It's really a great topic, but because I have to remember when I first came in here. You know, it's only natural for me, at least. I never had stuff. You know, like I know people you know, come in here, oh, I lost my house, I lost a job, I lost my marriage. I never got the things to lose. You know what I mean? I never accrued or you know, money, savings. You know, I didn't have a 401k, didn't have a career, didn't have an education, didn't have, you know, a marriage, nothing. You know, all I had was, you know, 20 plus years of getting loaded and sitting in prison. I had nothing. I had nothing. So like everything I experienced this time around in recovery was new and fresh. It's like these everything was a blessing. Everything, because I never experienced it. I had zero frame of reference. And you know, I remember I got to the treatment center. Oh, thank you. I got to the treatment center, and this is how I knew my perspective. There had been a big shift in my life, right? Because for the first time ever, I wasn't asking my family for help. You know, I'm like, I'm going to figure this out myself. And I got this job in the laundry, you know, and I did personal laundry for 10, 20 bucks a week. So where I'd fold all your laundry and bring it to your room. And I made money. I was doing good. I bought my first car, you know, in treatment from hustling in the laundry room. And that was like one of the coolest things ever. It was a Chrysler Sebring with a convertible top that leaked all over my speakers. So I went and got a new car. But nevertheless, I love that car. That was the first car I ever bought on my own. It was the first thing I ever bought on my own. And then I got out of treatment, and you know, stuff, I started to get the things, you know, I started to, you know, get the jobs and you know, start to experience some you know, relationships and stuff like that. And yeah, and it was difficult to not compute the attainment of said things with recovery, because without recovery, I wouldn't have these things. But it was so important for me personally that I was surrounded by the right group of people that kept me centered and focused. And they practiced a certain discipline, and they had this way that about them where they, you know, prioritized, you know, recovery and their higher power, their God, whatever. And it was because I couldn't, I just never knew. I never had the things. I never understood, you know, what it was to have a job, to have a bank account, to have a car, and to have all these responsibilities. So for me, it was, I was able to kind of keep it in perspective and you know, keep the next foot forward. Now, fast forward, you know, a few years into recovery, you know, I started a business, right? And you know, my entire goal was to, I'm going to build this business up so I don't really have to work that much. And so I was working 7 days a week. You know, I was working 7 days a week, and trying to do recovery, and it was spinning me out. So I I got this business to a point where I could, not have to be out every day. But then I go get a job as a sober companion. I'm working around the country on the road all the time, and I'm not ever home. So and it was very good money, very alluring job to have. But it took me away from all these gifts that I've been given. It took me away from the community that I was starting to be a part of. It took me away from my fellowship that I was so connected to. It took me away from the Father I was getting to know all over again. It took me away from my friends, these beautiful friendships I had. And I think that's what we're talking about, to not confuse the material blessings with, don't equate that. That's not what recovery is. Recovery is me being comfortable in my own skin, no matter how much money I make, no matter what car I drive, no matter who likes me or doesn't like me. And at the end of the day, for me personally, I know that there is no conceivable way I would ever be able to shoulder the responsibility of the blessings I have today without a solid foundation of recovery. My life is busy, and now I still have the landscape business. Justin and we're all part of this organization. I sponsor guys. I go to meetings. I help raise 2 kids, and it's like, wow, some days I'm like, in this last week, I had my guys, hey, no, this wasn't a thumbs up situation, I assure you. My guys ran my $10,000 mower without oil in it and blew the motor, and then the hedge trimmers dies, and then this happens, and then that happens, and I am like, whoa. And this gentleman, Aaron, he's talking about mental breakdowns. I didn't necessarily have a mental breakdown, but I felt very overextended. I felt very flustered, very frustrated, very vulnerable. And, but the difference today is that I do certain things on a daily basis that keep me completely in the center of this deal. And I don't have much room in my spirit to sit in that mess. Whereas earlier in recovery, and that's what we tell people this all the time, doesn't matter how many years you have, like we're all the same kind of crazy, I assure you, all the same insecurities, all the same fears. Yeah, all the same ego, all that stuff. Right. And the only difference is from, day one to, 6 years now is that I don't, I used to stay in the crazy this long, and now I stay in it this long because I just lean on all these tools, all this foundation. Oh, I can't focus. You guys are fucking me up, man. That's so mean.
I'm sorry. He started it.
It's so mean, man. I never do that to y'all.
He's doing all this shit. Okay.
You guys have very poor boundaries, man.
Yes, we have poor boundaries.
We're gonna put him time out.
I'm trying to focus, and all I can see is you guys dying laughing, and I'm like, it's distracting. You guys lost me, man.
So sorry. We're like,
it's all good.
Listen, no, what you said is,
but Siege is becoming a burden. I understand. I completely agree with you.
Wait, I got my mojo back. Hold on. Someone peeked something. Look at this. See this right here? Hold on, not that one. This one. Boom.
Oh, yes.
I appreciate the comment, but I would like to disagree with that. I am too plugged in, too spiritually centered. I have too strong of a relationship with the higher power to truly be one. I'm not one bad decision away. from getting loaded today. What I am, though, is a series of compromises that will lead me to that bad decision. And the compromises come because of the blessings that I've been given. You know, I need to spend time with my family. I need to, go surf. I need to work. I have to be at this appointment. And these are the very compromises that will lead to that bad decision. You know, I pray that I'm never just one bad decision, away from getting loaded. Because if I am, then what am I doing in my recovery? I have this defense. I have this connection with the higher power that has given me freedom from the obsession to drink or use drugs today, right? But what I don't have is the luxury to fuck off, to rest on my laurels, like our literature says, and to stop doing the very things that provided all these blessings in the first place. So for me, I am like super vigilant about what I'm doing on a daily basis, because I know my life is busy, and I know that I can get to that one bad decision, but it's those compromises. It's me prioritizing. My sponsor loves to call them distractions. We have our literature calls them worldly clamors. The job, the relationship, all of these things I can quickly forget, and that, like Caesar said, I wouldn't even be in a position to have any of these responsibilities without a strong recovery program, with strong spiritual connection. It's and let me just say this: all my blessings aren't burdens. You know what I mean? It's something else, when we get distracted from the burdens. But also, how about we take some time to enjoy the blessings, because I think it's a burden and detrimental to our well-being when we start to neglect the very blessings that we received. That, we could go on the other way. We could lose ourselves at the clubhouse, or in meetings, or in sponsorship, and neglect our family, this beautiful blessing that we have. Or, I could work so much that I don't take self-care and go surf, or do the things that, bring me joy and connect me to nature. It could go both ways. And it's boundaries, man. Kelly, you got it.
Hey, boundaries and balance.
In balance, man, which I believe balance is a lifelong journey of, just figuring it out, and I think, it's never just when I think I have balance, something else comes up. It's like but the only way that we can spot check this stuff is by daily maintenance of our spiritual condition. I have to continue to do the things every day. I have to do the gratitude. I have to stay in conscious contact with God. I have to write the inventory. I have to read the books. I have to call my guys. I have to show up, on a daily basis, because guess what? I understand, you hear people say, "Oh, I don't have another run left in me." Bull fucking shit. I absolutely have another run in me. I that's what I do. I have a good run in me left. I promise you that. What I may not have is another opportunity to get back to recovery. So what am I doing? This is a responsibility, man. I have been gifted with the greatest blessing ever in my entire life. Like Caesar touched on it. I have been shown my purpose, and I have the freedom to live it out on a daily basis. So I better take that seriously. This is serious business, man. I need to, if I got a car and I love it, I'm getting the oil changed, I'm getting it detailed, I'm taking care of it. This is the greatest, most beautiful gift I've ever received in my entire life. What am I doing with that gift? Because guess what? It is priceless. You cannot put a price on this freedom from the bondage itself. I was haunted and tormented for 2+ decades, hopelessly desperate and pathetic, because I was controlled by substances. And now it's not even close to touching me. But what I do still have is the isms. I still have this peculiar mental twist that will convince me, that I'm not worthy or I'm not okay. And how do I combat that stuff? Because that's the bullshit that will lead to the bad decision. It's not the drugs and alcohol today. It's all these little concessions or these lies that I'll start to believe. But how do I combat that? By staying busy, by staying helping the next guy, by staying in this literature, by exposing myself, shining a light on all the insecurities and fears that I definitely still have from not talking from a spiritual hilltop. I do not have this shit figured out. I am just starting my journey, and I'm just learning like the rest of y'all. So may I stay right size. I am no more than, I am no less than anybody. I just am. And what I am is grateful that I've been given this blessing, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm not going to shit on it. I'm going to put the time in on a daily basis. I know I'm doing my part. It's very important to me to do my part on a daily basis. It's the least I can do. Thank you, God, for giving me this gift. Let me just show you thankfulness. Let me show you gratitude. I don't want to please and thank you, God. Oh, please keep me sober today. Thank you at the end of the day. Fuck that, man. I need more than that. I want an intimate relationship with this thing that gave me, absolutely transformed my entire life, created a life I never imagined possible, and so yeah. I caught my second win after you guys were with the bullshit, man.
No, we ain't with the bullshit.
Dude, you did really great.
Yeah, we can have fun. We can have fun, Nate.
No, I know. Yeah,
we blessings, bro. We ain't burdens. Okay, we ain't letting you do that to me, bro. Yeah, get out of here.
I just said it
later. Hey, no, Caesar. Okay. Anyways, I really enjoyed you saying that. It's compromises up till a point of one bad decision. I talk about it all the time. Relapse mode. Okay. I am way in relapse mode before even relapse is even a thing of the freaking way before it's going to happen. I say that a lot because it is so true. I have been in relapse mode while in recovery and I did not use. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to use over it. It just means you're almost either on a break. You're about to be in a breakthrough. You just don't know what that looks like. But if you keep going, you're going to get there. And it's happened to me. Last year I was in it. They know. These blessings know. But also, man, this topic right here has come up a lot of times. And I have really want to talk about, amongst other things, boundaries, all these things, man, balance, we talk about the unhealthy and unhealthy. It's a fine line, it's a fine line. And, I have experience with it, especially with work. I can throw work on my plate and just work myself. Oh, once I get to this job, once I get here, I can slow down. Once I get there, I can slow down. I'm not going to do this forever. Then I can ramp up my stuff. Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. I might do that. I might, and I remember being a miserable person, because I wasn't doing the things. I forgot the things. And then my kids became burdens. The wife was a burden. Like everything was, I was angry all the time. When that stuff happens, when I start becoming like overly angry at things, I know I'm on a crash course. Luckily I have a group of people that know me well, that know that I freaking, when I'm off, and I think that's the most vital thing, is have people in your corner, man, that know you, personally, that know when you're off, that can call you out on your bullshit. We don't need co-signers in here. You know what I mean? I don't need people co-signing my shit at all, because those are the ones that call you out, whether you want to hear it or not. Those are the motherfuckers going to save your life. Okay. Those are the ones that are going to put you out there and be like, hey man, I see this, man. I just want to bring your attention. And man, I tell you, I have more people calling me out on things that I might be doing off. But if I respect the person, I'm going to listen to them most of the time. I might not do it right in the moment, like as they're saying it. I have to come back. You know, it's like, all right, man, listen, I really heard what you said 3 days ago. And I'm like, and I think you're right. And I'm going to do these things to try to, like, you know, erect the situation. And it's like, and it's the truth, man. You know, it's the truth. Like, cause I need some time to process things, especially when I'm in that attitude, you know. I gotta really process some things because you're coming at me sideways, but you're not really coming at me sideways. And it's the real ones, man. I seen Don Woods. The real ones come at you straight and don't co-sign your bullshit. My dog, what's up, Don? And that's the truth, man. Like, I need some people that are really not going to tiptoe around my ass, because we don't need that today. We don't need tiptoers. We ain't Santa Claus, you know, trying to wake people up. We try to wake people up, you know. We're trying to let them know we're in the house. Maybe break a couple things on the way in, you know. And but it's I don't want the blessings to become my problems, you know. I just want to keep my focus. That balance thing, man. That balance thing, it's where it's at. Okay, I have multiple buckets of, like, attention, you know. I got to bring my attention in these certain buckets, right? I have so many buckets I can fill with my attention, because you only have a 24-hour, sorry, not 24-hour period. Well, yeah, 24-hour period, because you need sleep too. So that's a bucket, right? So you have all these little buckets, man. And when I throw too many buckets, man, everything's getting shortchanged. And that's not good. You know, and that's what we have to say. Okay, man, what's lacking in my life, man? Let me step it back a little bit. What's lacking in my life that's making me feel this way? What's getting not enough attention? Does the house clutter? Listen, if your house is cluttered, sometimes you got to do that overhaul of cleaning it out. You know, is your car a mess? You know, these things can cause us stress too, man, whether you think they can or not. When you see clutter, man, it does something psychologically, you know, in us. You know, that's why a tidy house, tidy brain, tidy body, you know, things I put in it. Too many cupcakes like I did for my birthday, man. I'm going to feel it tomorrow. I might not feel it right now. I might be all hyped up, you know, but tomorrow I'm going to feel it. And I feel it, like, when I eat something that's not good for me, I feel it in my body. And what does that do? It makes me sluggish. And then mentally, I feel a little bit off, you know, and even in my spiritual, you know. I think every little bit, man, helps, you know, of how we are coming into our life. What does our life look like? Is anything in my life that might need me to give more attention to? Do my kids need more attention? Because I could feel the negative vibes between us too when they don't get enough attention. And that's not good for me either. So, yeah, man, this is a really good topic. I think every day we need to do a thorough inventory of where we can, you know, be depositing, you know, putting those deposits in, you know, into those certain brackets of our lives, and making sure that we're, you know, not lacking or anything. Are we overdrafted in our kids' account? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's some things that's how I look at it, man. Is we're making these little deposits into these certain areas of our lives and making sure they're, you know, got a positive balance. You know, we're not in debt in any of these areas of our lives. Yeah. Okay, Caesar.
And then also, Justin, you said and declutter, because, like, the only clutter that's in my head, right, is my propensity, my impulse to control outcomes, you know, like, and the fear of stuff unfold, of me losing what I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or not getting what I want. You know, this is the stuff, and it'll shift your perspective, because that's when the blessings become, you know, a burden, right? Is when my perspective shifts from them being a blessing to me potentially losing them or not getting them. You know, it's like with my business, right? My business is pretty consistent, and every month, you know, there's a little lull before I get my second wave of invoices that come through, right? And without fail, you know, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm a bad business owner. You know, I'm not making enough money. I need to do something different. I need to do this. And here come the first, and then everything's fine. All my bills are paid. My guys are paid. All is well, right? It's funny how just that slight shift when things aren't unfolding or when things appear to be a certain way that I can lose that connection, you know, and I go from God reliance to self-reliance. Like, what can I do? What can I do? Guess what? Obviously I can't do anything. You know, if I could do something, I would have been sober and went to college and had a, you know, be a lawyer or something. But you know,
lawyer.
yeah, that was it. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Nostradamus. Huh?
No, but it's like that. It's that clutter, man. It's that stuff that gets in the way. It impairs my vision to where I start, you know, taking back control. You know, I want to, you know, I can't let go of attachments, you know, or how I perceive or expect things to unfold. God forbid, you know, I do something and I don't get the response I want. You know, you want to see my defects come out, you know, like that, you know, maybe don't wave at me when I wave at you, you know, and I'll start being, what's wrong with me, you know?
Yeah.
Or let me clean the house, and Danielle doesn't say, "Oh, the house looks so great," and I'll be like, "Hey, did you see the house?" That's what I'll say if she doesn't say.
Look what I did.
Look what I did, you know.
Look what I could do.
We're still sick, man. Here we
Yeah.
are, you know, still sick, still growing. You know, it's but it's that clutter, man. That's what it is. It's those expectations and that that like old impulse to control. And for, you know, if things aren't my way, then there's something wrong. And it's usually not something wrong with you. It's something's wrong with me. And that's where it gets dark, right? What's Caesar doing?
I don't know, bro. He's on his phone.
What is Caesar doing, bro?
Checking TikTok.
I'm just
looking at pictures.
He's
patiently
probably making my face like whatever look like Pizza the Hut.
Probably.
patiently waiting so I didn't interrupt anybody.
He's being resentful.
You just need to know your turn, bro. Okay. Okay.
I'll know my place.
Yeah. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Honestly, I was thinking about you ever heard the phrase comparison is the thief of joy?
Mm.
That's Nate, you guys see it in my gratitude a lot. External things shouldn't affect my internal peace. External things do not bring me joy. Joy is an internal job, and it all comes back to, am I spiritually fit? Am I grateful? Those simple things, because when I'm not grateful and when I'm disturbed and when I'm running off in every different direction, I'm usually chasing something. Like, honestly, like that's where the imbalances come in. Oh, well, and I know you can relate to this, Justin. Oh, so-and-so's got, and this is all in my head, by the way, it's not out loud. Like, so-and-so's got a really nice house and really nice this. I can't be grateful with my nice house. No, now I'm looking over at somebody else's house and I got to work harder. I got to make more money so I can buy more crap, because more crap's going to make me happy. I'm saying all this stuff in my head and it's all BS. And it all comes back to that gratitude, man. Like, probably one of the most grateful, best points of my life was like this little crappy house that I rented in Gulf Highlands because I was paying for it for the first time with my own money that I worked for and got by legitimate means. And I had like a bed on a box spring, but with no like nice frame or anything like that. And my buddy Eric was my roommate, and it was early sobriety, and it was awesome. And I never looked at what anybody else had because I was so grateful for just being okay in there. And then you fast forward and we get out of gratitude real quick. Like, you know, like it's like, I need more stuff, man. I got to work harder. And it's just not true. I don't need more stuff. I don't need to work harder. I need to be grateful for what I have right now and appreciate the moments that I have and the people that I have.
Yeah,
that's all. That's what I was off thinking about over here.
And it's like when I get the more things, then I have to work for the more things, and then it just becomes the rat race sometimes, you know.
The
and
more
it's like,
and you more bills.
Yeah, and you really don't even really want them. You just want it because they got them, you know. It's like, oh fuck that. Why'd I do all that, you know? And it's just man, water your grass, man, and the things could be beautiful. You know, if I can't be, what's that? Be a good, God, I can't think of the word, but steward. Be a good steward of what I have now. How the hell can I handle the big stuff? You know, and most of the time, man, if we don't have it with the small shit, we gotta be prepared. You know, like when I'm when I'm when I get the things and my life is going really well, and then I forget the recovery, and next thing you know, life happens, you know, like, and then that's when really things start bombarding, you know, and then I don't have what saved my ass before, what's going to take my ass out of trouble, you know, because the recovery's gone. You know, now I'm just sitting here in the blessings, and the blessings ain't gonna help me. You know, I need my recovery peoples. I need the people that are gonna save my ass, call me on my shit. I have to be connected. I have to be connected. You know, in one form or another. You know, but yeah, man. Let's read some comments, man. There's just a bunch of comments coming in. I'm gonna go back up a little bit. I'm gonna say, "What's up, Melissa? The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose to life is to give it away. You give it away to keep it." That's right. Let's see. Rachel says, "I do this recovery thing for me, but I never allow myself to forget that what I do impacts so many others. My children are watching. So many people inspired by my journey are watching. I remain mindful of my ripple effect." Oof. That is so freaking true. Be mindful. Like, because it isn't about me anymore. Like, we have a responsibility in this life right now, especially in recovery. And if you put yourself out there while you're in recovery and you're repping it, you have a responsibility, whether you like it or not. You wear a badge of honor that you have to hold up, man. And that's why it's important. Like, I take this shit serious. You know, I really do, because we are in another bracket. You know what I mean? Like, we are in public being people of recovery. We want to show people and break down stigma even more. Imagine going backwards, you know, at this moment, you know, just like Rachel, you know, it's a ripple effect that we might not be able to get back. You know, the more times that we show this recovery deal is a beautiful process, and we keep showing in our communities, the more we're going to break down the stigma, and the more that we're going to freaking advance and help more people, way more people, you know? So I really love that. The ripple effect is always very much important, especially playing the tape through before shit happens. Let's see. We have thank you, Caesar, for doing that. I'm so grateful for this program, and I do get complacent when I allow life to get in the way. A friend of ours just died by overdose Friday. I am so sorry for your loss, and you know, those getting complacent, man, and it's never, you know, like Nate, you know, like we always say, it's how I show up to life, you know. And maybe it's not life getting in the way. Maybe it's how I see it, you know, how I view it. How am I being in this life? Because life is going to happen, you know. And maybe I just need to get out of the way of it and let it happen, and figure out how I can show it better, or see it better, or do something better, you know. As far as the complacency goes, you know. But again, prayers for everybody involved in your friend that died. You know, it's not getting any better out there. It's not getting any better. We have Eddie says something made a lot of sense that you said. You said that that you can relapse without using. That's just like going back into your old behaviors. That's just what I've been doing. All I know to do is pray, and that's it. You know what? I was in relapse mode. I did relapse. I could say it all the time. I relapse on behaviors. People relapse on behaviors all the time and emotions, and they get out of character. You know, it's like, how am I acting? What am I doing? How can I get back into a centered position so I don't keep going back to these things that I really don't want to feel like? You know, I don't want to feel like this. You know, is there something you can do spiritually? Maybe in the morning, maybe meditation. I see you're praying. Your prayer, meditation, you know, we got to switch it up sometimes, man. As we evolve as people, we need to try new things, you know, invite new things in and see if it's doing something for us, and how we're, you know, how are we applying it to our lives. You know, I read the spiritual principle of the day every single day. I read a book in Awakenings now that Nate gave me every day. I meditate at least and listen to music, kind of have a stillness before I get out into the world. I don't jump on Facebook because that thing throws me off. You know, it really does. I make sure that I do something to get this mind right before I go into the day. And I need that first hour to try to get right, you know, and I get right with coffee. So there's that too, you know, it's got all the levels, you know what I mean? We got to get right in all aspects.
Justin, speaking of which, did you open your card from us?
Yes, it is.
All right.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
$4 for days, yo.
That's right, baby. I'm going to be drinking this. I'm going to be like, this tastes like. Yes, thank you. Let's see. Let me go back down here. We got Lindsay says, I can identify with wanting to be impulsive when in fear. I'm grateful I don't have to stay there long today and trust my higher power instead, or I would just be messing up his flow. That's it. That flow, man. You got to get in that stream, that flow. Oh, what the hell is this, man? Dude, these people, I got freaking people now that we're talking about like mental health stuff, I guess. I don't know, man. They're freaking just microdosing and all that. It's just right crazy. Yeah. Go on Instagram.
Whatever blows your hair back, eh?
Yeah, whatever blows your hair back. Let's see, we got Connie. What's up, Connie? My life finally makes sense now that I'm sober and staying with the program. I've had several miracles happen.
Oh, yeah. And that just reminded me of something.
Oh,
like let us not get too sober or too recovered where we can't appreciate that every single moment we wake up to this life, this gift that we've been given is a miracle. You know, like I don't want to miss that. You know, that's not lost on me. You know, I know Caesar can relate as far as places that we've been, you know, getting up to go into my refrigerator and grab some. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. Being able to go grab whatever I want. You know, I'm sleeping in a quiet, dark room with air conditioning. You know, like that's the most base, simple things, you know, like every day is a miracle if we perceive it to be. You know, all these things we get to live and do and be a part of is miraculous. You know, especially for all us on this screen, we were counted out. We were done, you know, X'd out, and here we are thriving, not just living, thriving.
I'm having a heat rash all summer because I stay in a facility that didn't have air conditioning. I mean, if you've been there, you know what that means. It's. I love that you talk about that, because when I'm talking with new guys and they can't come up with something to be grateful for, I'm like, bro, I try not to repeat myself, you know, with the ones that I'm sharing with people, but I wake up, same thing. I wake up every morning and I'm like, bro, I'm in my bed. I'm in my bed in my house. I have control over the temperature. Like it sounds so basic, but man, that I didn't make those decisions for many years. Temperature is temperature. The lights are on all night, you know, like.
Oh God, I hated that. I hated the lights being on.
Head count's head count, you know, like you don't. Breakfast is at 4 a.m. Take it or leave it. You're gonna be hungry if you don't take it, you know, like Nate just said, man, being able to, you know, waddle down in the middle of the night and go get a little snacky snack. I'm grateful for that.
You know, the thing is, we have a built-in forgetter. You know, we have a built-in forgetter.
Absolutely.
It's easy to forget, man, with that pain and that agony and that just hopelessness and that just like, man, what is my life here? You know? And I just hope, man, I pray I never forget that. That helplessness, that just we're praying that something would change.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I'm not going to front though. Them blessings in early recovery hit different. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna try to pretend like all those firsts that happen in that first year. That's why, like, it is the biggest deal when somebody gets that first year and they're like, oh, I don't want to celebrate. I'm like, you got me messed up, man. If I'm in your life, you are celebrating, because I know it's so incredible, man. Everything's new and you're so grateful for everything. And then our job moving on, year 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, whatever it is to drag that gratitude with us, and to maintain that, because it's not gone. Like the things I was excited about in year 1, I should damn sure still be excited about now. My life has gotten exponentially better, which means I should be that much more grateful and not let the blessings turn into burdens and not complain about the answered prayers that I'm living.
I always bring it back to that Lego movie.
Yeah,
everything is awesome. That's exactly what it feels like. Exactly.
When we stop focusing on the 2 or 3 little things that aren't perfect in a world of blessings, then we can be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Let me read a few more and we out. Let's see. We got Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. I'm with you. Pray and turn it over so I can be of service. And remember, I'm not in control. Each path has a purpose for my life on it.
Amen.
Yeah, Don says, we see that a lot in recovery. We see what someone else has and want it, which is okay to an extent. But when we start putting that shit before our own well-being, that is the issue. Exactly. We got Rita says, almost 2 years in recovery, I relapsed in behavior and figured out I was missing God in my life. And once I got saved and got serious, it's been life transforming. That's it right there, man. Life transforming. I really love that, because that was me in recovery. That was me to a T. Let's see. We have Kevin. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Appreciate you.
Don't.
Oh God. Here we go. Okay, I'm getting my first male Brazilian wax on May 7th.
If y'all knew Kevin, that's an okay statement from him.
Okay.
And if you knew Kevin, you'd know that's a good thing.
When we forget that's why it's so important to have support, that reminds you to be grateful. I'm sorry to put your comment after the Brazilian wax, but that's just what we're doing around here. We got Sandra says, I try to remember what it was like in the beginning, and I can always find gratitude for how far I've come. Simple gratitude makes the biggest difference in my day. Every day you can find, even if it's the smallest things, just like Nate said, waking up, going to the fridge. That is a simple thing that you can be grateful for. It ain't got to be some big, outlandish, grateful gratitude that you need to look for. It could be simply having clean water to drink, because not a lot of people do. Having a cool house and AC, simples. Go ahead.
That's what me and James were talking about on your porch today. Like, we brought it back to a base level that we were talking about praying, but anybody has something to be grateful for. If you got eyes and you can witness life and how beautiful it is, there's people that can't see. Yeah. Ears to hear, lungs to breathe. I mean, you can go so deep with this stuff, because I promise you, wherever you are in life right now, there's somebody that's looking at your life going, man, I wish I had that. You're always a step up. You just don't realize it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that. Yep. You got 2 legs to walk, man. You good, man. There's some people that don't, Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you. Spend time on my birthday with me, It's been a great day. Great topic. I enjoy coming on here. No matter what, and even if it's my birthday or not, man, we come on here because it helps me so much, man. Hang out with y'all for this hour and get ready for the week ahead. It really sets the tone. And so I appreciate y'all commenting, being here, always supporting, always giving feedback, and how you're doing in your daily lives and being vulnerable, because that's what it's about. Recovery is about being vulnerable and letting people in. That way you have somebody call you out on your bullshit when the time is right and you ain't in character. And before you make that bad decision of those ultimate compromises that you've made along the way. You know what I mean? So hope you guys got something out of it. We love you guys. We'll see you next Sunday. Till then, see ya.